Hello everybody and welcome back to Robert's Reviews. Yesterday I posted a video about ranking every single movie in the Harry Potter universe, and today we're talking about every single book in the Harry Potter universe ranked. Before we get started, I think I should mention that some of the books you're about to see are very old, so I apologize if you're like, wow, that guy didn't take care of his books. I was like 11 when I got a lot of these, so like, I apologize, okay, I apologize. But I'm going to show you my books, and in the order that I think from worst to best, so from 8 to 1. Let me know in the comments below what you think about all of them. I want to know your ranks, I want to know your thoughts. I love that kind of thing, I love audience interaction, so definitely hit me up in the comments. I'm very interested to see what you guys think. So coming in at number 8, we have Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which I don't have a tangible copy on me right now because I left them at my other house because I hate them so much. I have 2 copies of them. Don't ask me why I have 2 copies of the same awful book. I do, okay? I don't know why. It is technically a stage play, which I love stage play. I have a bunch of them. You can't see them, but I have a bunch of them. I love stage plays, I really do, and this would have been very good if it didn't feel like a fan fiction and didn't have crappy writing. I did not see this live, mainly because I didn't care for the screenplay, so I didn't want to spend money to see it live. I've heard it's better live. I have a hard time believing that, simply because J.K. Rowling has also had her try her little shot at screenplay, and I hated her screenplays, so I don't know why I would like to see her stage play on stage. I don't care to. If it becomes a movie, I'll obviously watch it, but hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't. And if it does, hopefully Steve Kloves writes it, because J.K. Rowling is not good at anything to do with scripts. I think she's just god-awful at it. Like, that's my opinion. You can think I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. I hate it. I hate it so much. But yeah, that's number 8. That's like bottom line worst Harry Potter book I've ever read. One of the worst stage plays I've ever read. I hate it. I hate it so much. Now we're on to the actual good books. I don't think any of these books are bad. I really don't. And I'm judging them mainly on story, but also on just like physical appeal, because I'm a book lover. These are the books that I've read this year, just this year. I actually started in March, so I apologize if it doesn't look like I read a lot. Okay, it started in March, okay, I'm a little late. But yeah, I didn't read these this year. I read them since I was like 5. I was way too young when I started reading these, but I read them when I was very young. Some of these are very old. I will show you my oldest one later. But the last time I reread these was over the summer last year, so summer of 2020, because I was in lockdown, and I had these books, and I was like, okay, time to reread them. I read them probably every 2 years, and it takes me about a month to get through all of them, so it's not too bad. But we're going to talk about number 7 now, which is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. This book it's kind of worse for wear a little bit. It's not too bad. It's got a little fraying issues, and it's got this rip in the back, but beyond that, it's not too bad. The pages got a nice tone. I love the tone of the pages. And of course it smells delicious. But Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, the main issue that I think is the worst is it is pretty much a prototype of the first book. It's a copy of it, literally, except the slightly story. The plot is the same with different story elements, and that's why I don't think it's quite as good as the first one. And that's why I think it's one of the worst ones, because it's so predictable. Even when it's your first time reading this, it's very predictable and kind of boring after the first one. After you read the first one, it's just not quite, doesn't live up to the hype of the first one, I think. That's basically my general thought. I mean, it's fine. I like it. It's just not nearly as good as the first one. I mentioned that in my other video yesterday with the movies as well. It's very similar in that the movie was very similar to the first movie because it's the same exact story structure with different, like, story points. That's literally it. Which is why I think this is definitely the last one, because it's just generally not original. So that's number 2. Coming in at number 6, we have Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. This is just a little bit better than the second book, just because it is original. Like, it is 100% original. I do think that the text is very childish. It's a children's book, short. It literally just, like, opens by itself. It's awesome. It is a children's book, so I get it. But, like, as you progress through the books, they get much more mature. And we started off very juvenile, which makes sense because Harry's only 11 in the book, but still. This book is always going to have a special spot in my heart because it literally starts off the greatest book experience of my life, of course. But it is a little childish for me now, which is why I think it's lower on the list than a lot of these other ones. But it's a good book nonetheless, and I do like it a lot. I certainly like it more than the second book. In terms of like the actual state of the book, it's better than the second one. There's a little bit of fraying at the corner here. We have nice read lines. I actually like read lines. I call them read lines. I don't know what you call them. I love them. I love bending it on purpose so it makes a cool little line. I love it. I think it's really appealing. And the tone is good. Not as good as that one, but it doesn't smell as good as that one too. I don't get that. But still, I like the book. It's better than the second one. Coming in at number 5, we have Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. This was a hard choice because this book has gotten better every time that I read it, okay? Every time I read this book, it gets better than the first time I read it. And that maybe that's kind of the issue that I have with it, is that I think if I were judging this by a first read-through, this would be where it is, like pretty low, because I think that it just doesn't have the kind of appeal that it does later on when you're reading all this and you're like, oh, this really matters later, because for the most part, this doesn't have any impact on anything at first. It's later on in like books 6 and 7 where you're like, oh wow, Prisoner of Azkaban was extremely important. But the cool thing about this one also is it kind of reads like a standalone. It kind of reads like a standalone mystery novel, and I like that a lot. I think that if I read any of these just like out of the blue and pick it up, it'll be Goblet of Fire or this one, because I think both of them are extremely good at being its own separate book inside of a series. The rest of them are very much contingent on the other ones. This one and the fourth one are very much like you can just pick it up and read it and like pretty much understand all of it. The text does get a little bit more mature here, which I appreciate, but not a whole lot more mature, if I'm being completely honest. And that's okay. The state of the book, very much fraying on the cover here. That's probably because recently when I started to read, I play with it. I'll open it like this and play with the backs, which is why my copy of The Prince Being Wallflower is really being beat up because I've read it like 13 billion times. I'll get another copy soon. But the toning is also not as good as the other two because it's relatively newer. But the smell is there. It's a good smell. I like the smell of it. And it's just kind of got a beat up back, but it's okay. Not too bad. Coming in at number 4, we have Harry Potter and the HalfBlood Prince. This book is very good, but I think, again, it's not nearly as good as you read it along. Like, when I read it now, it's one of my favorites. But when I read it the first time, it feels very dull and boring. But it's so important that you read this one in order to go on to the 7th one, that, like, it literally is the, like, key to the 7th book. And it's so important, which is why I think I like it more now than I did when I first started reading it. In terms of, like, the actual book quality, it's really bad. It's probably one of my worst ones. It's falling apart a little bit. But it's got good toning, and I love that smell. It's very old. I've had this one for, oh my god. I've had this book for 10 years. The undercover says, 2011, Robert, enjoy reading another Potter book. I love you, Mom. I was 10. I was 10 when I got this book. This is a really old book. I really love it. I really do like it. It's one of the better stories in the entire series, but it is extremely contingent upon all the other books, which is why I think it's kind of in this spot. Coming in at number 3, we have Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. This is the final novel in the series. Oh, that's a good smell. I like it. I like it a lot. It's a very good book. Like, I really do enjoy it, and I think that it's absolutely fantastic. I love the cover, the back cover. I'll read you it real quick. It says, "We now present the 7th and final installment in the epic tale of Harry Potter." That's it. That's all it gives you. And I was mind blown when I got this. I literally, when it came out, I begged my mother to take me to Walmart to buy it. And I didn't have any money. I was like 0. And I was like, Mom, I need to get this book. I need to know how it ends. And she's like, fine. I finally talked her into it. Went there. We got this. We left. And I went home. And I literally read all of this straight through because I was like, I can't freaking stop. Epic, 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 fantastic finale. Still not the best book, though, mainly because the first half of the book is kind of slow. It's very slow. The second half is absolutely phenomenal. But this part just kind of like, But that's why it's in this spot. I don't know when I got this book, mainly because I didn't write it, because I bought it for myself, basically. But it's good. It's very good. The condition's also pretty good. This is probably the one that I've gotten the most recently. I probably got this when it came out, which was like, who knows, like 2009? Oh, there's no way then, because I got the other one in 2011, so I don't know for sure when I would have actually received this. 2007, so I probably got it in like 2011, probably. But I think it is the newest one that I have. But I like it. It's very good. Coming in at number 2, we have Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And before I show you this, I want to apologize. It's not in good condition. This is my copy of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. It is very old. The book is literally in 2 parts. I cannot read this anymore. It's that bad. I have another copy. I didn't bring it with me here because I don't plan on reading it, but I have a hard copy that is not, literally in shambles. I will never throw this book out because it is the oldest book, that I have. I have gotten this book. This is the first book that I owned that I liked. And I remember, because I read the first 3 out of the library, and then my mom got me this in 2010. So it's 11 years old now. And I'll never forget the day that my cover fell off of it. As you can see, the cover is just taped on. I don't know if you can see, you probably can. It's just taped on because I lent it to a friend. G-Dog, you're out there, what's up? It literally just fell on the bus and then the cover fell off, which I didn't really care that much because it was a book. But now I'm oh, what memories. It literally is falling apart. But anyway, the story is so good. I love how it's very self-contained in its own novel. It feels very, very good. And it's so good. It's so freaking good. I think it's literally one of the best stories I've ever read. And if you ever want to get into Harry Potter but you don't want to read the whole series, just pick up this book and read it. I mean, it's literally, you can read it without knowing anything and you'll love it. It's absolutely fantastic. But yeah, probably get yourself a better copy if you can find one. Which means that we only have number 1 left, which is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This book is the best thing in the whole world. I absolutely love it. I had this book when I was very young. I got it for my 11th birthday, so that would have made 2012? That doesn't make any sense. I must have gotten it after I read it. Might make sense, actually. So 2011, so not the oldest book I have. I like it because the text is so much more mature. And when I was younger, this is the first glimpse I got into actual mature young adult reading. And I absolutely freaking love this book. It's such a good stuff. It's a very, 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 very well written book. I think it's fantastic. The story is top tier. There's love, there's lost, there's independence, there's the struggle to break free from the grasp of government. It's fantastic. I love it. This is my favorite book. I like in this series, of course. If you're interested in what my favorite book in the whole world is, that would be The Person Being Wallflower. If you haven't read that book, you have to. It's by Stephen Chbosky, one of the best books ever written in human mankind. But this is my favorite book of the Harry Potter series. But thank you guys so much for watching the video. Let me know in the comments below, what is your ranking of all of the books? I want to know. I'm curious. I need to know. It's a craving, okay? Let me know in the comments below. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. And as always, keep watching movies and television, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.